Hey, what's up, everyone? I just wanted to update you. I know it's been a couple days. I wanted to first say thank you so much for helping us out with this. The donations have been amazing. All your positive efforts are definitely coming to fruition right now. We've been working really hard the past couple days. We've assembled a group of volunteers. We have a whole network within Hawaii that's trying to do similar things and set up distribution and find what the highest need areas are within the healthcare network. So I just wanted to let you know what we're up to. We've been 3D printing all kinds of different designs. All these designs are kind of based off of one mask called the Montana mask that a dentist in Montana originally designed. The problem with these masks that we found out very quickly is that they don't seal to faces very well. So even though this looks like it's pretty ergonomic, when I put it on my face like that and I breathe in and out, it's leaking around the edges. So right away, healthcare workers weren't that concerned because a lot of them wear a surgical mask that actually has this same issue. It doesn't seal all the way around. A true N95 mask does though, and that's really the goal that we're going after here. A surgical mask can be recreated in different ways, but it doesn't provide full protection from possibly catching something. So in this case, Montana came out and said, well, we should make a gasketed seal, kind of like this. This is weather stripping for a door. We tried that. We didn't really like that either. It just doesn't really seal to the face that well. So after printing out a bunch of these, going through iteration after iteration, we eventually found out that the concept of the mask being hard plastic is a fatal flaw. So we've actually gone back to the drawing board. What we're going to try to do is fully redesign the interface of the mask with the face with a silicone seal. The way that's going to work is we're going to actually cut the mask in 3D right here in a computer program and add on a silicone gasket that's about an inch or an inch and a half long and mimics what a normal respirator mask would have on it and allow it to seal to the face but also fit different face shapes a lot better. This is also cleanable, it's FDA approved material, and it's nice and comfortable to wear. This hard plastic on your face for a couple hours is going to cause all kinds of issues. So this in mind, what we started doing is actually moving our efforts a bit away from the 3D printing side and trying to figure out, okay, if we have 3/4 of this plus a silicone seal, how do we make these in mass? So we're looking at actually making a set of molds for the silicone seal part and then taking this idea and making it not 3D printed but vacuum formed. And that's essentially a giant sheet of plastic that gets laid over a mold and then we suck all the air out. The plastic is heated up before this happens, so when we suck the air out, it vacuum forms to this shape. Then from there, we can cut it out. Hopefully, we can use some CNC routers or laser cutters and get rid of a lot of the labor involved in this. That'll allow 2 or 3 people to make 40 or 50 masks in a shot, and then we can add on the silicone seal from there. So we're right now trying to figure out materials. We have a lot of things we've ordered. We're playing around with different filters. We've taken a look at some things. This is pretty much our prototype right now. It's essentially just a MERV 16 rated filter for an AC, and we popped it in here, and it has pretty good airflow, pretty good filtration. It's not quite N95, but we have a bunch of material on the way that we ordered a few days ago that we'll be able to assess and figure out what the best option is. One thing we had tried was a vacuum filter. That's a no-go. That basically doesn't allow enough airflow, and it's gonna basically suffocate whoever's in here. You have to try really hard to breathe to be able to make that work. So that being said, these are a good first draft. It gave us a lot of ideas and a lot of things to play with. We've actually sent out a bunch of donations regardless because a lot of nurses at this point don't have anything to put on their face. So this provides more protection than putting a bandana over your face, but at the same time, it really doesn't do enough as far as replicating the ability of an N95 to fully seal over your face. Now, why is that important? This type of mask, because it leaks on the seal, and same with a surgical mask that just lays over the face, a fabric mask, the workers can still breathe in respiratory droplets that contain the virus. So this type of mask, while it blocks direct contact if they're sneezed on or if there's droplets in the air and they walk through them, it doesn't necessarily protect them 100%. The other issue is that if the worker is unknowingly infected, when they breathe out, it comes out through the seal, or if it's a fabric mask, out through the fabric, and that allows them to infect the patients too. One of the things you really want to avoid in this situation is for healthcare workers to be walking around from patient to patient and be infecting those patients or unknowingly infecting other staff. So the seal to us is really important. There's a lot of people that have come forward that we're working with. We're starting to organize a whole army of people on the island with 3D printers, and we're gonna start getting them to print these masks initially, and we'll move to the new model as we get the prototypes done, get the development down, and get a process. But the newer model hopefully will be able to be mass produced on a larger scale. The 3D printers are still gonna be used for all kinds of cool stuff though. Oddly enough, they're running out of swabs to take the COVID-19 test. When you get tested, they stick a really long cotton tip swab way down your nasal passage. It's not comfortable. I've seen it done. Wouldn't want to do that. But oddly enough, everyone's hoarding the swabs right now for testing. So they've asked us to start 3D printing the swabs, and Hawaii's actually trying to set up some of its own FDA-approved testing labs and processes right now. So that being said, we're also looking at other alternatives that we can move resources to so we can create things now that will help healthcare workers. Another one that we've been doing a lot of is face shields. So we've also been printing these, and these are actually in high demand right now with healthcare workers on the island. What it is it's a face shield holder. So this will go onto your head, and you have a strap that goes behind your head like this. It holds a clear plastic acetate sheet, generally something like, when you were younger and people in schools used an overhead projector. Same concept. So once the sheet has a few holes popped in it, you can mount it on here. It can be worn by a healthcare worker. That helps out a lot from direct exposure with people coughing right at their face, but also it helps the face mask that they do wear last a little bit longer because it's getting less direct contact. It's generally a good idea too. Some of the healthcare workers don't have goggles or glasses on, so it protects their eyes and generally just gives their face a little bit of room to not have direct contact. So these are something we've been looking at. I know the group at Punahou has been doing great work and printing out a ton of these. They have a few designs right now that are approved by the hospitals that they're cranking out. And we even have a couple other volunteers who have gotten designs approved that they can laser cut. So instead of 3D printing, they lay some material down on a laser cut and they can make these in like 45 seconds. So that's been really cool too. We're really excited to get more of those out. And that's something that I think in the future there's going to be a high demand for as well. So that being said, I really appreciate everyone's help on this. The donations, the comments, the support, it's been amazing. And I'd like everyone to continue to check up on us. We're going to start doing hopefully at least a daily update. I've just been inundated with requests, discussion. We've been doing a lot of work. A lot of people are working late into the night and working early in the morning on different projects. So we're a little behind, but we're going to start catching up. We're going to start getting products out. We've been working closely with Punahou, who's been doing a great job. Iolani, Punahou, Midpack, they've been printing away. They've been communicating with healthcare providers. And I'm so happy to be a part of that network because they are the ones who are really leading the charge on the island so far. That being said, we're always looking for more help. If you have anyone you know with any manufacturing capabilities, we're looking for 3D printers, vacuum formers, pretty much anything, CNC machine. If they got it, we'd love to put them on a list and see if we could access their equipment when the time comes to really start rolling out mass production of these items. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow.